The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. One of the big events this weekend will be the Coronation concert on Sunday. Prince Harry is expected to be long gone by then, but let's just take a look at what he is going to miss. Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee party featured Diana Ross, Queen and Rod Stewart, while Elton John delivered a pre-recorded rendition of Your Song. King Charles has gone with Lionel Richie. A royal source said of those arranging this event, there is no doubt they want to put something on that the king as well as other members of the royal family will enjoy. The concert will be held in the grounds of Windsor Castle on Sunday evening. 10,000 members of the public who obtained tickets via ballot will join volunteers from the King and Queen Consort's various charities in the audience. The remaining tickets will go to organizations supporting young people, the military and the environment, as well as local communities and the wider Commonwealth. The BBC has finally confirmed which acts will grace the stage, and they write, "Who better to represent the Brits on Windsor Castle stage than Take That?" The three remaining members, Gary Barlow, Howard Donald and Mark Owen, have confirmed that they will be performing in front of the newly crowned King and Queen. Barlow organised the Diamond Jubilee concert for the late Queen in 2012 and led his bandmates in a performance at the London 2012 Olympics closing ceremony, so Britain's original boy band certainly have the experience needed for such a historic event. Grammy, Oscar and Golden Globe winner Lionel Richie has also been booked for the occasion. The 73-year-old dancing on the ceiling singer has met the monarch a number of times over the years and became the first global ambassador for his charity, the Prince's Trust, in 2019. Another US superstar and a fellow American Idol judge will fly over to support the King. Katy Perry, one of the world's best-selling music artists, said she's excited to be taking part. Perry is an ambassador for the King's charity, the British Asian Trust, and hopes her performances will shine a light on its Children's Protection Fund. In a nod to the King's passion for classical music, renowned opera singer Andrea Bocelli and bass baritone Sir Bryn Terfel will perform a duet. Bocelli sang for the late Queen on a number of occasions, while Terfel was awarded the Queen's Medal for Music in 2006 and received a knighthood for his services to music in 2017. North London singer Freya Ridlings will be joined on stage by classical composer Alexis French playing the piano. The BBC adds Sir Paul McCartney was reportedly approached to form the concert's centrepiece, while recent rumours suggest US superstar Bette Midler could bring some Hollywood glamour to the occasion. Previous reports suggested Sir Elton John, Adele, Harry Styles, the Spice Girls and Robbie Williams all declined to perform at the coronation. The palace has confirmed there will also be a light show involving projections, lasers, drone displays and illuminations at various important locations across the UK. The coronation concert will be broadcast live on BBC One, BBC iPlayer, BBC Radio 2 and BBC Sounds. Screens in St James Park will also show the coronation concert. Palace Intrigue remains on a modified schedule with the morning episodes with the latest news and gossip and afternoon episodes with details about the coronation. Sarah Ferguson has been given a VIP role at the coronation concert at Windsor Castle next month, despite not being invited to the coronation itself. The Sun reports Fergie will be given a special seat on the east lawn of the castle to have unmatched views of the King's coronation concert. A royal insider told the outlet that Fergie would never have expected an invitation to the coronation, but she is delighted to be joining the wider family for the coronation concert. She cherishes those more relaxed times with the family and, contrary to some reports, is fully accepting of the situation. She did, of course, join the family for the Sandringham Christmas celebrations, so it's clear there is no ill will in either direction. Quite the contrary. Palace Intrigue will be right back. Hey, I'd like to tell you about a new sponsor of ours just in time for the coronation, and that's ExpressVPN. Now, ExpressVPN is an app you use when you're online that creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so hackers can't steal your data. It's something you should always be using when you go online in public places like cafes, hotels, airports, basically anywhere that's not your network. But there's something else that's really cool about using a VPN. Have you ever tried to watch TV from a foreign country and it says, sorry, this content is only available to users within that country? Well, a VPN can give you access to almost every country in the world as if you were there. That means you can watch sporting events from around the world, local TV from another country, and here's the big thing, access to UK TV for the coronation. It's almost as good as being there. So all you do is fire up the app, go to your website of choice, and it's all there easy and quickly. ExpressVPN works on laptops, mobiles, any device. Secure your online data today and watch TV from around the world with ExpressVPN. Now go to expressvpn.com/palace and get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/palace, expressvpn.com/palace.
I'm Nina Hobson, ex-police detective from the UK. I've worked on every crime mentionable, from murder to kidnap to stalking to fraud. When I left the force, I launched my own investigations firm that soon became a global operation. I'm also a single mother of 2 to 2 members of my team, my son Harrison and daughter Amy. Every week, we'll be getting first-hand accounts from psychological experts, operatives, former criminals, actual victims of the crimes that we investigate, and of course, my very own flesh and blood. From Storic Media, you're listening to Codename Siren, a true crime podcast. Available on YouTube and all major podcast platforms.
Yesterday, we took a look at the coronation of Queen Elizabeth, but as historic as that one wound up being, the one before it may have been the one that was even more important. Author Sally Bedell Smith said, in the case of George VI, it was really their opportunity to show that the monarchy was in good shape after the trauma of the abdication, which had only occurred 5 months earlier. Fans of Netflix's The Crown may remember that plot from season 1. Time reminds us the then 41-year-old king had assumed the position when Edward VIII stepped down, December 1936, so the coronation was basically a religious ceremony. In 1937, Time wrote, legally and technically, George VI was every inch as much a king the moment after Edward's abdication was signed as he was after last week's ceremony. What went on in the Abbey was a purely religious rite, sanctifying King George as a monarch, anointing him as a persona mixta, half priest, half layman, and inheritor of the divine right of kings. Time also weighed in with an opinion in 1937. 5 months of intensive propaganda had told them what this 1937 coronation was held for, a gorgeous and expensive pageant of the solidarity of the British Empire and the permanence of British institutions in a changing world. Smith argues that Britons welcomed the celebration in dreary times. We had Hitler in power, busy rearming and preparing for war, the terrible economic depression, lots of menacing situations, particularly in Europe, but also in Britain, she says. But nevertheless, the coronation was very elaborate. Millions of people were there, and I think people really wanted to see a major celebration. 70 years ago, at the time of Elizabeth's coronation, Time may have been prophetic in writing, 5 emperors, a dozen kings, and a score of minor dynasts have vanished in the wars, revolutions, and other dislocations of the 20th century. Britain's empire, too, is diminished, yet neither hot war nor cold war, nuclear nor social fission has tarnished the bright gold of the British crown. In an age that tends to reject ritual, scoff at virtue, and call magic coincidence, the crown that was set this week on the head of Elizabeth II was more generally accepted because better understood, better loved, because more respected than it ever had been before. Palace Intrigue remains on a modified schedule. We'll be back in the morning with the latest news and gossip, and again in the afternoon with a bonus episode of details about the coronation. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or your favorite app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.
I'm Alyssa McKay, star of the new podcast, The Royals of Malibu. I play Ella, a sex worker just trying to survive when I get swept away to the wealth and the drama of Malibu.
You know, you can like something without touching it.
You've made the biggest mistake of your life, Ella Sinclair.
You are a total psycho!
Will Ella find a happily ever after ending? Or will these rich kids destroy her? Fall in love with The Royals of Malibu on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts.